Foreign Minister, Nasser, thank you. It's really good to be with you once again. It feels like it was only yesterday. Indeed, we just came from the historic Negev Summit, and together with our partners from Bahrain, from Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, and Israel, we discussed, as Nasser said, a wide range of areas where we can seize on normalization to make a positive impact on the lives of our people. It's an effort that quite simply would not have been possible were it not for the courage and vision of leaders like His Majesty King Mohammed VI to break down long-standing barriers. And I'm committed to working with the Foreign Minister and all our friends here and across the region to make this vision real, translating it into more opportunities for people and further widening the circle of friendship. Now, while integration among some of these countries is new, the diplomatic relationship between Morocco and the United States dates back more than 240 years. And its depth and breadth are reflected in everything we discussed today, and Nasser touched on a lot of these issues. For more than 15 years, our free trade agreement has benefited people and companies in both of our countries and beyond. Today, we discussed how we can continue to grow our economic cooperation, in particular, to benefit underserved populations. For example, we're in the fifth and final year of what is a $460 million compact administered by the U.S. Millennium Challenge Corporation. That's provided jobs and education opportunities for young people, boosted agricultural productivity, expanded land rights for women. The compact includes a partnership with Morocco's Ministry of Education that is piloting a model aimed at improving secondary education in 90 secondary schools across the country, training some 6,000 teachers and administrators, making investments in the school's infrastructure and in its technology. Just last week, our officials came together and broke ground on a major expansion of the industrial zone in Buznica, backed by a public-private partnership, and that is expected to generate some 4,000 jobs. Partners show up for each other in difficult times. And as Morocco experiences one of the worst droughts in decades, we're doing what we can to help. Now, I tried to do what I could to help by bringing a little rain with me today, but that's clearly not enough. We have experts from the State Department, the Department of the Interior, consulting directly with their Moroccan counterparts on immediate steps to diminish the drought's impact and to increase water conservation. Tomorrow, we're hosting a conference in Casablanca that will bring together your top water management companies with some experts from the United States to focus on how this country can better produce, use, and conserve its water resources. And going back long before this drought, we've been working to build greater capacity in the country to try to predict, prepare for, and mitigate the worst impacts of droughts, and to train rising generations of Moroccan water management experts. The drought's already affected agricultural production, we know, raising the cost of food. Now, the natural disaster is being worsened by a man-made disaster, as the Russian government and its brutal war in Ukraine has disrupted the supply of wheat and other commodities. Here, across the region, we're discussing concrete steps we can take and our partners can take to help reduce the impact of these shortages, particularly on the most vulnerable populations. This disruption is another reason we'll continue to urge our friends and partners to speak out with one voice in condemning the Russian government's aggression, the consequences of which are being felt around the world, and hold the Kremlin accountable for as long as this continues. The increasing frequency and severity of droughts and other extreme weather here in the United States, around the world, also underscores the urgency of our collective efforts to address the climate crisis. And in this, Morocco is a world leader, setting an ambitious target of achieving 63% renewable energy by 2035. With 45% of the country's electricity production already coming from renewables, Morocco is on track to meet this ambitious target and even exceed it. Morocco also signed the Global Methane Pledge at COP26. And at COP22, the Kingdom founded 3 African-wide commissions: the Congo Basin Commission, the Sahel Commission, the Small Island Nations Commission, and continues to lead climate finance and feasibility studies for all three of them. We've also worked side by side in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. We've been able to donate more than 2.5 million safe, effective vaccines to Morocco through the COVAX initiative over the last several months alone. And since the outset of the pandemic, we've been working closely with the Moroccan Ministry of Health and other partners to train health workers, provide PPE and essential lab equipment, and enhance Morocco's vaccine cold chain, all of which has helped contribute to a very effective response led by His Majesty to COVID here in Morocco. And Morocco is also now contributing to the efforts that other countries are making, something we greatly appreciated. We launched a $3 million partnership with the Pasteur Institute of Morocco to strengthen global health security capacity so that we can prepare for, respond to, and deal with infectious disease in the future. We support King Mohammed VI's ambitious reform agenda to strengthen Morocco's institutions and ensure government is responsive to the Moroccan people. The United States is committed to working with Morocco to make concrete progress in key areas, advancing the right to freedom of expression and association, criminal justice reforms, women's rights and gender equality, government transparency, which the Foreign Minister and I had an opportunity to discuss today. We also discussed security. The United States recognizes the important role that Morocco plays in maintaining regional security and stability, as well as its contribution to peace and prosperity in the region. We're collaborating closely on addressing regional issues like the Sahel and Libya, the fight against terrorism, where Morocco has demonstrated sustained leadership through the Global Counterterrorism Forum and the Global Coalition to Defeat ISIS. We very much support the work of the United Nations personal envoy of the Secretary General, Staffan de Mistura, in leading the political process for Western Sahara under the auspices of the United Nations to promote a peaceful and prosperous future for the people of Western Sahara and the region, and we appreciate Morocco's support for this mission. We continue to view Morocco's autonomy plan as serious, credible, and realistic, and one potential approach to meet the aspirations of the people of Western Sahara. Let me just conclude by wishing an early Ramadan Kareem to the people of Morocco and around the world who will celebrate the holy month starting in just a few days. And I wish our Moroccan friends, I shouldn't say this, I'm going to wish you good luck in the World Cup qualifying match. That's not fair to the other side. If we wish both sides good luck, it will wind up in a tie, but that's good for Morocco. So, Nasser, thank you for hosting us. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your friendship.